Heyo value investors, how are you doing? My name is Stijn and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're again talking about Nouveau Monde graphite, or these sticker symbols. And I promise this is the last video on this company for at least a little while. Unless of course NMG drops some big bombs in the upcoming days. But no, see, I've come to realize I've made a couple of mistakes while doing my deep digging in this company. And don't worry, I personally still think Nouveau Monde is a great company to invest in. At least for my personal portfolio and my risk tolerance. It certainly isn't for everyone. But I want to take this opportunity to lay out all the facts we know about Nouveau Monde, as they actually are. And I especially think that it's important so that current but also new potential investors get the right information to base their investment decisions on. So to show the full picture, the first thing we'll talk about is Nouveau Monde's business plan. Second, we'll talk about the cost associated with their grand plans. And this is the main part I've become more knowledgeable on. So do make sure to stick around for this part. And lastly, my own updated buy targets and price predictions based on facts and some assumptions. We'll also be looking at what dilution will do to these buy targets and price predictions in the future. And by the way, as a small preface on this video, I'm using the information outlined by Nouveau Monde themselves. And I've even contacted Nouveau Monde directly to confirm most of my assumptions. Do keep in mind, however, that I am no financial advisor, and that most of what is said in this video are just my opinions. Do treat them as such, and please do your own research. With that said, now let's go. So let's start off with the business plan. What will Nouveau Monde be doing? Well, first, graphite is of course used in a lot of different use cases, but most interesting, anode materials. Check out this video linked to the top right corner if you want to go more in depth into anode materials specifically, and electric vehicles and the future of both. So Nouveau Monde is trying to become a dominant North American graphite and anode material supplier. And to achieve this, they plan to develop two main parts of their business. So first, the Matawinie mine and the concentrator. And this is where they plan to produce 100,000 tons of flake graphite starting from the second half of 2023. And this is where the company becomes really juicy, the advanced materials plant. And this is where they plan to take 60,000 tons of natural flake graphite and then turn into 42,000 tons of anode material, 3,000 tons of purified jumbo flakes, and as a byproduct 14,000 tons of micronized graphite. So the main two products, anode materials and jumbo flakes, but they can also sell their byproduct. And note this, the advanced materials plant is planned to become operational in early 2025. In the past I assumed 2023, the same as their mine, but this is incorrect. So the advanced material plant will become operational early 2025. Oh, and that is their phase 2 plant. So the phase 2 anode material plant will become operational in 2025. And this is the 45,000 ton plant. Also, the company is busy studying the economics of this advanced material plant, and we can expect more findings, I would say, in the following 11 months. What will come online soon, however, is their phase 1 advanced material plant. So this is their demonstration plant, or phase 1 advanced material plant, and here they will start off producing about 2,000 tons of anode material, which they will use to de-risk the whole project. And they will use this battery material to send material to potential customers all around the world, which as far as I know is the first outside of China. At least in these quantities, so tons, not kgs. So let's summarize the business real quick, and we'll use this slide to do so. So the company is currently de-risking, which means their demonstration plant will be up and running and generating some revenue streams soon. And they're of course constructing their world's first all-electric open pit mine in Matawinie as well. Then in 2023 the mine will become operational, which will produce 100,000 tons of high purity flake graphite, and in 2025 the 45,000 ton battery anode material plant should become operational. So starting from 2025 and onwards, we can expect this company to pump out 100,000 tons of flake graphite from its Matawinie mine. They will use 60,000 tons of this material in their bacon core lithium-ion battery anode material facility to produce 42,000 tons of anode material and 3,000 tons of jumbo flake graphite. And the other 40,000 tons of flake graphite can be sold directly as flake graphite. And then from 2025 and onwards, the sky is the literal limit. Erik Dessonnier, the CEO, has hinted in interviews in the past that they're actively looking to go up to 200,000 tons of flake graphite and beyond from maybe a second mine on their property. Or maybe they are cooking up even grander plans. As always, time will tell. Of course, I didn't even talk about their low carbon footprint, their plans to become fully electric, or even the recent partnership with Caterpillar to produce zero emission solutions for their mine. I'll leave this for you to research. Enjoy! Now let's talk about the cost associated with each of these projects. Again, this is the part I messed up the biggest in the past and the part I've become more knowledgeable on. But no worries, I still like this company a lot as an investment, and I am quite critical of what I'm buying, as you should be as well. Anyways, as we know from their feasibility study, the Matawinie mine is expected to cost $276 million. Also, we now know that the advanced material plant is expected to cost around $545 million. And this number is quite steep. But this is also an early indication. It could change up or down the further along NMG gets with its scoping studies and their economic assessments. And as I've outlined in my last video, their phase 1 facility or demonstration plant is expected to cost $37 million. So the expenses that we can expect on the short term are the Matawinie mine, which should become operational in 2023, and their phase 1 or demonstration plant, which should become operational soon. But for those two, Nouveau Monde has already gathered a healthy chunk of the money needed for these projects. And that is especially after the recent share offering is completed. This is as outlined in my last video. What I didn't outline correctly, however, is the $545 million needed to complete the phase 2 advanced material plant before 2025. And this does sound quite scary at first, especially knowing that Nouveau Monde, by diluting 10 million shares, was only able to raise about $75 to $100 million. But as an investor, we need to keep in mind that the company has multiple ways of raising capital if they need to do so. So for example, equity, which is selling shares, they can take on debt, or they can even sign off-take agreements. So a potential customer signs years in advance and pays years in advance for the materials it will receive. And there are obviously plenty of other ways as well. For example, Nouveau Monde has a great relationship with the Quebec and Canadian government, so they can even receive funding through that government. And I trust the capable management team of Nouveau Monde to find the right mix of raising equity, debt and other sources to complete this project. But on these people, you need to do your own research. Nobody can do that for you. And like I outlined in my last video, this will probably not be the last dilution we'll see from this company. This is normal for a mining company becoming operational just now. So if you can't stomach dilution, which is fine, I would recommend you to look at different companies. Perhaps you could take a look at Regeneron or even UWMC, which will be both linked in the top right corner now. And that is because those companies are actually doing healthy share buybacks instead. So just for the Matawinie mine, I think we can expect at least one more round of dilution. But I also think that by then the share price will be significantly higher, so less shares should be sold. And we also need to keep in mind that a large chunk of the $545 million needed for the phase 2 plant will only be needed years from now. And by then the Matawinie mine should be up and running already. So a large chunk of this number I expect will come from revenue streams that this company will generate between now and 2025. Anyways, let's now look at the updated buy targets and price predictions. So the future revenue streams are based on 40,000 tons of flake graphite and simplified 45,000 tons of anode material. This hasn't really changed, and with fair prices, combined comes down to about $530 million in revenue. What has changed, however, is the year. We're expecting them to pump out these numbers in 2025. It's currently 2021. Please ignore this dilution since we'll be doing this differently in these calculations. I'm expecting a future price sales ratio of 5, which is conservative, and we're using a discount rate of 15%, which is extremely conservative. The higher this number is, the more conservative your calculations are. So these are the current shares outstanding, and this will be the number if they sell all the shares during this round of dilution. So according to my opinions and these calculations, I can see Nouveau Monde still going up to $46 per share in 2025. And that expressed as an intrinsic value today would be $26 per share. So this is a number you could buy this company at today and return 15% per year. But it's also assuming zero risk. And of course, there's a lot of risk involved with this company. So that's why we take a healthy margin of safety of 65 to 60% for this company, which results in a buy target of about $10 to $11. And these are actually the levels I'm accumulating NMG at myself. But we can play with these numbers, of course. So let's dilute more shares. So let's assume, aside from dilution this year, they'll dilute shares again next year. And the same number of shares will be diluted. Well, if we do that, the company still seems to be able to go up to $40 per share in 2025, which is really solid. But since the company has a better cash position then and is more secure, I would say a margin of safety of 50% in that case would be better. And that results in a buy target of $11 still. So knowing all this, I'm happy I was such a heavy buyer below $10 before. And if I wouldn't have my position already, I would be a heavy buyer today. Anyways, I think that's it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and maybe even subscribe. Comment down below what you want me to talk about next, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.